Alright guys, what is going on? Match reaction, Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1. I actually enjoyed the game. I thought it was a decent game. I think Aston Villa, I think a draw was a fair result, to be honest. I think if it finished 1-1, I think that was the fair result. But Aston Villa have managed to nick it at the end. And it's a big win for Villa, big win for Villa. They could get Champions League football again this season, Aston Villa. They're in the mix. They're now 1 point behind Chelsea. If Chelsea would have won this game tonight, they would have been 7 points clear of Aston Villa, which is very big, very significant. So the fact that Aston Villa have closed the gap to 1 point, it shows that Champions League is still on for them, and also Champions League is still on for Chelsea as well. We can't forget about that. And I'll tell you what, that fourth place is becoming really tight. I mean, I'm not sure if fifth place this season is going to get a Premier League team Champions League football, but if it is, then it's really up for grabs for Villa and Chelsea. It really is. But I want to touch on Chelsea first. I think Chelsea played well, considering their last performance against Brighton. Finished 3-0 to Brighton, and Chelsea were way off the pace. They got battered against Brighton last week. I think they were a lot better today, a hell of a lot better, in fact. I think that they started off the game brilliantly. And to be honest, Chelsea probably should have got more than one goal tonight. I mean, they were finding a lot of space, Chelsea, in this game, in the midfield and also out on the wings, especially on the right wing. The amount of space Chelsea were finding was insane at times, and they just couldn't really capitalise on the space they were given, really. And they did get that goal early on, and you're thinking, all right, now they need to bounce. They need to bounce and get another goal quickly, because Villa were always going to come back into this game. And they did that. They managed to turn around and get a 2-1 win. But I think Maresca will be very disappointed that Chelsea haven't at least held on for a draw. You never like losing games, especially in the last minute. But just that lack of concentration at the end for Chelsea has cost them dearly. But to touch on Villa, big win, big win for Aston Villa. Come back from behind victory is always a good way to win, because it shows you that they never give up attitude in your team. And I think what Unai Emery is doing with Aston Villa is unbelievable, really. And it would not surprise me if they do get Champions League football again, Aston Villa, in the league. I mean, they're not going to win the Champions League this season. It's not going to happen. I expect them to beat, I think it's Club Brugge. I think they'll beat that, but then it gets very, very, very difficult indeed. But no, really good win for Villa. Got a 2-2 draw against Liverpool in their last game, and then they backed it up today. Villa, they backed it up. I don't think Villa were great. I mean, Villa were always going to come back into the game, though. This is the thing. Villa will always create chances, especially at home. You do always fancy them to score a goal or two today, and they've managed to do that. But let's talk about the goals. Chelsea off to an absolute flyer in the 9th minute. Enzo Fernandez with the goal, and Chelsea started brilliantly in this game. Brilliantly. For the opening 10-15 minutes, it was all Chelsea. Villa, I don't think Villa knew what hit them. It was all Chelsea in the opening 15 minutes. And the goal, they deserved their goal. Really good spin on the halfway line by Moises Caicedo. He gets it out wide to Neto, and like I said, the amount of space Chelsea had in this game on the wings was crazy. Goes out wide to Neto. He's up against Maatsen, I believe, and he just takes on Maatsen, gets him 1v1, knocks it past him. Puts in a really lovely cross, and Enzo Fernandez can't miss. Empty net, puts it in, but all through Enzo Fernandez. Sorry, not through Enzo Fernandez, all through Pedro Neto. The willingness, to take on his man and get a really good ball into the box. And, that's what got Chelsea to goal. It was a really, really good goal by Chelsea. It really was. And then Aston Villa came back into the game. I think Chelsea edged the first half. They went 1-0 in front at half time. I think deservedly so as well. Chelsea, I think, did edge it in that first half slightly. Second half, Chelsea had chances, but I do think Villa were the better team in the second half. And they needed to be. They were 1-0 down, were Villa, sorry. And they responded. Marco Asensio in the 57th minute, equalising for Aston Villa. I believe it's a corner to Villa. Maybe it's a free kick, I'm not sure. But it comes, I think, to Youri Tielemans on the right-hand side. Puts in the cross. I think it's Tielemans, I could be wrong. Puts in the cross. Rashford's at the back post. Gusto manages to get to it, and he gets a foot on it, Gusto, but it just goes in the air. The ball doesn't really move. It moves a little bit forward. Rashford has got to adjust his body, gets to the ball, puts in the low cross, and Asensio's got a tap in. Rashford came off the bench and got an assist. Did Marcus Rashford, really good assist as well, because he's got to adjust his body. VAR checked it because the goal was actually given offside, but clearly Rashford was onside. Enzo Fernandez was playing Rashford onside clearly, and the goal gets given, and it's 1-1 just like that. Villa back in the game. And then I think Chelsea had a really big chance near the end of the game. Cole Palmer gets played through one-on-one by Moises Caicedo. It's a really lovely ball by Caicedo. And Palmer's in 1v1 against Martinez. Martinez actually slips. He slips Martinez, and you think Palmer's just got to dink it over him. But Palmer cuts back. Now, I don't know what's going on with Cole Palmer at the minute. I think that's no goals, no assists in 5 Premier League matches in a row for the first time in his Chelsea career, I think. I think he's lacking a little bit of confidence at the minute, Palmer. But I think once he finds that goal or that assist, I think he'll be fine again. I just think he's lacking a bit of confidence at the minute, and it showed with that chance. I don't know why he's cutting back. Just shoot, chip Martinez, and Chelsea probably win that game if he does that, because that was quite late on, and it's come back to cost him. So it was a huge chance for Chelsea. But then in the 89th minute, Aston Villa get the winner. Comes from a corner. Rashford short to Tielemans. Tielemans back to Rashford. Rashford puts in the cross and it falls to Asensio on the volley. And Jorgensen doesn't want to see it again. I mean, he should save it. The Chelsea goalkeeper goes under him. And it's funny, because previous to that chance, he made a brilliant save to deny Donyell Marlin, which actually gave the corner to Villa for the goal. You made that save by Donyell Marlin, really good save by Jorgensen, and then you concede that. It's not good, really, is it? Not good at all. Just squirms under his body. He knows he should save it. But yeah, another assist for Marcus Rashford. Asensio brace, Rashford 2 assists. And this shows the importance of January signings. Asensio and Rashford, 2 January signings for Aston Villa, and they basically, them 2 alone have just beaten Chelsea. And I don't know why more clubs do not buy in January. It's crazy to me why clubs do not do it and why they wait for the summer. I just don't understand that mentality. Villa bought in January. Well, they've loaned Rashford, but doesn't matter, buy or loan, don't matter. You get the player in, and Villa have shown why it's so important to do it. And most teams don't do it, but teams do really need to start buying in January or loaning in January, whatever it is, because it can have a really big impact on your season. It really can. But huge win for Villa. Another defeat for Chelsea. Yeah, I think Chelsea probably will be kicking themselves big time. Because they shouldn't have lost that game, Chelsea. Enzo Maresca will be fuming with that. Shouldn't have lost. I think a draw was a fair result, but football's not a fair sport, is it? It's not a fair sport, and yes, big win for Unai Emery and Villa. But guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the match, and yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you later.